This is what happens to the. Ah, okay. I have to see that how it has to. Uh, so we will. So there is a time change. So we have to do it. Yeah.
At 10 a.m. Your time,
Oh, 10 a.m. Okay.
since the next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. Okay.
Next Tuesday and on.
Yeah, next Tuesday. Yeah, just after this. Okay, that is. So the voice is clear. No, why it happened? Oh, it has become because of this. Where I record the Audacity. So it is happening in this way. Okay, I believe you are listening to me clearly. Okay, so I could understand now where is the problem, but it will take some time. So we are on a journey to I am consciousness, pure consciousness, and that pure consciousness is. Oh, Brandy, you have joined? Very good. Free today. You have been busy?
I've been really sick.
Oh, you're sick. Then you must attend.
I'm here today, but my computer decided to reboot before I could log in.
Okay, okay. No, no, okay. So you see that we are pure consciousness is what we say. It is absolute existence, consciousness, and bliss. Now, when I said this, the knowledge in the intellect, I should bring down to its experience at the experiential level when all the time, 24 by 7. So, what is blocking? It is the superimposition. Superimposition is blocking that experience. So, what exactly we have to recognize now? Instead of recognizing the real self, I should recognize first the superimposition. I should understand it does not exist. Then another problem from the mind comes. Mind says, I experience. How dare you say, I experience the water in the mirage? I experience the blueness in the sky. I experience I am the body. I experience I'm here and you are there. You see? Lot of superimpositions. But the real self is all pervading. But I say, no, I'm sitting here and you are there. So then now we are from understanding, we went to the mind. We want to tell the mind your experiences may or may not be true. I am conscious, that is true. But instead, I am consciousness, my mind goes back and it says, ah, I am the body, I'm the mind, I see you. And then what happens? It is the mind that is doing, there comes the delusion. And the moment that, what is delusion? I have to apply discernment and dispassion. When? There and then now. What to know what appears true, including experiences, are not real. What are those experiences now? I'm summarizing and then I will go deeper. So, what are those experiences? Pain, pleasure, profit, loss, victory, defeat. Are they real experiences or they are delusion? Since our birth, we have taken these experiences as real, we have taken for granted. And the mind continues to clings to these experiences. How? Why? Because of impulsive nature, because of their habit, because of their past impressions. And it takes time to remove them. And that is the journey of entering into a realization of the real self. Once we get rid of these superimpositions, you can also use the word at a delusion at different level, ignorance at a different level. That is how we use these words to explain. It means, I have to find the clarity in my mind, clarity in the mind, because it causes the superimposition and it causes the clarity. So say that, if we have a lot of experiences, maybe we have crossed 60 years and above, at that, that is an average understanding by the science. After 60 years, the wise people sit down and say that, I've been repeating, I've been busy throughout my life. Is there any way to get rid of that busyness? So that category of the people value wisdom, value the right experience, value the sense of timeless truth. So that also depends. Our journey also depends. If we are a seeker, there is no problem. But if we are not a seeker, then we, as a teacher, we understand what is you belong to, what is your attitude. So I can say that it is a mind hack. Let us decode the reality beyond the delusion. So that is how our masters have been using these phrases. The Buddha, in those days, Buddha says there is a four noble truths, which obviously appeals. It is the same as I'm talking about. Reality reboot. I can also use the modern word, reality reboot. So let us understand how to navigate the mind's filtered feed. Or we can say that, what exactly is there? These are all examples of superimpositions. And we have understood there is the twofold nature of the superimposition. I have to analyze all my experiences and perceptions every day. Every day. The moment I start interacting, the moment I wake up in the morning, I have to recognize those superimpositions. What are the twofold superimposition? First, it veils the truth, it hides the truth. So when it hides the truth, consciousness goes to the mind. It says, then this is the truth. What is the consciousness hides to truth? That I'm the real self. So now it is hidden. Hidden means that I don't see it. So when I don't see means I don't experience, I don't perceive it. But consciousness is there. So it goes through the mind, and mind says, then you are the body and the mind. This is happening throughout the day. Now, reverse, there is no ignorance. I'm aware that I'm the real self. So the second factor, the superimposition, will not take place in my head. The false projection will not take place. So the twofold superimposition, one is the ignorance and second is the false projection. if I'm not this, then I'm that. If I'm not this reality, which is already hidden, then I'm that. Mine instantly goes there. Why it instantly goes there? Because of ignorance, because of the delusion. It causes the projections. Instead of I am the real self, I believe, my mind believes I am this body and the mind. Instead of infinite peace and happiness, I experience I have a stress, suffering, and limitations. If that is not the rope is already hidden. So in the dusk, I see that it looks like a snake. So this is a snake, but the reality is a rope. Our most famous example that we give in Eastern wisdom to make us understand. So we have to inquire, why does this superimposition occurs? Maybe past conditioning. I'm just summarizing. Unexamined thought. What is unexamined thought? Lack of thinking. So this master says, we are not talking of spirituality, we are not talking of religion, we are not talking of the God. So you have to invite your intellect to think. There should not be a lack of thinking, because if there is a lack of thinking, the mind sneaks in, and mind brings all the past impression and it starts thinking. Oh, last time you said me crazy. But lack of thinking, this is a lack of thinking in our daily life. Oh, last time you said this. And then you have a different expression, superimposition. We are trying to understand the superimposition. Oh, last time I could not lift my leg. You know, you have you ever experienced that you hurt your leg, and you're after a few days the leg is perfectly working, but still the mind poses as if you are hurt. Oh, it takes time, let me lift, and you can easily lift. You see, mind plays the tricks with us. Such a great trick all the time. And then emotional filters are also there. I mean, emotional filters. So, what the master is saying, how to overcome this superimposition? Discernment. Discernment begins with the conscious thinking. Conscious thinking with reference to the principle of Eastern wisdom. I have told you already that three angles of a triangle is 180-degree. So that is the idea, that is the problem I have to prove. I already have an answer. Answer is 180-degree, but I have to understand the process. So when I go through the process that I have to prove that I'm the real self, I encounter that superimposition, that projection, and they are done with it. The moment you recognize. So the discernment starts with conscious thinking with reference to the Eastern wisdom. So after discernment, we enter into the dispassion. What is dispassion? Now it is different and separate from me. What is separate from me? That experience of a pain and the pleasure is caused by the mind. And what is the mind? Mind is a connect between the matter and the consciousness. There is no pain in the matter, there is no pleasure in the matter, there is no pain and pleasure in the consciousness, but I experience, oh yes, because they come together, it created the mind, and the mind filters. Mind says, you experience, check it. We experience it. What is the difference? I am not the body. I am not the mind. To reach to that level of awareness, it demands a regular practice, it demands a regular satsang, and then we can reach there. Ignorance. Again, understand in a different way. Then I will give you a couple of examples so that the truth that I am just a man, I'm just a man. Truth is that this is the earring, this is the nose pin, this is the necklace. Gold is hidden in all of them. There is no existence of nose pin. Can you find the nose pin? Can you find the nose pin or a necklace? If you find it, so let me take the gold out and show me where is the necklace, where is the nose pin. Now apply the same. I am the man. Show me where is the man. Let me remove the consciousness. I have to think constantly, consistently. The moment I have pain, problems, projection, etc. So first you see the first is the ignorance, I'm a man or I'm a woman. Second, what is the projection? I'm only a husband, is falsely imposed. First I'm a man, then I'm a husband. Remove the man, husband is gone. Remove the consciousness, manhood is gone. So we say again, now apply the wisdom. We say what depends, what is dependent, any experience that is dependent has to do with the ignorance and delusion and projection. Husband depends on manhood, manhood depends on the consciousness. Consciousness is an independent entity. I have to understand this again and again. I have to educate the mind. I told you, conscious thinking with reference to the goal, that then you begin with the discernment, you separate, you enter into a dispassion, you are free here and there and then. Example, this is example of the husband and man. So there are intelligent people everywhere, and especially in also in US. You have heard about the Disneyland. Last week I was looking into his Disney, Walt Disney, the guy who created a Disneyland, and perhaps the anchor created a story that he wanted to create such a complex and a crazy machine. He wanted to design meticulously in an engineer department to create a kind of surprises that operates within relatively in a framework. It was a big project for him. Everyone rejected him. So he picked up the delusional aspect of it and he created the Disneyland. We have a live Disneyland with the mind. That is what I wanted to compare. Why? The mind has an extreme, extraordinary ability to generate deluded ideas in the thoughts and feelings and emotional filter. Oh, I did the wrong thing. I became upset with you, and now you are not going to talk. What will happen? You will go to somebody else. You see, Disney, the entire structure. Why it is created? Because of the impulsive nature, because it has learned the projection, it has learned the delusion. I have to filter it out. If you don't filter, then you are going to suffer. Then we are too far from the journey of the self-discovery. Look at another way. I was looking, contemplating, and watching. Disneyland creates an illusion through a spatial effects. Mind also has a spatial effects. Can you recognize? Mind also has a space. It does it automatically. Oh, I have a pain in my, now I cannot write, so now I cannot give the lesson. You see? We don't return to the reality check. I am the body. No, I am not the body. Simple, but very tough. Disneyland creates illusions through spatial effects and carefully crafted environment. Nature creates an environment for me. The mind we have discussed also creates an illusion through superimposition. Here is the spatial effect, and here it is a superimposition. Okay? Here is a spatial effects we enjoy, but here is a superimposition we fall into this stress. Why? Because it distorts the reality. Mind creates its own reality many times, and many times that reality is far removed from the truth. Emotional roller coaster. Can I use the emotional roller coaster? You will instantly understand. And then the mind gives its personal interpretation. It causes a lot of problem in our daily life. We already understand, there is optical illusion, social stereotypes, emotional reaction to the neutral events. Huh? So projecting our feelings onto the others. We have already understood, movie projector in the screen does not change at all. I have to, in the same event where I experience the pain and the pleasure, I have to be aware of the screen behind it instantly. Otherwise, what is going to happen? Mind will create a clever Disneyland and it will put us into a delusion. If you look from a scientific point of view, then just take an example of pain and pleasure. So, in modern psychology, we say pain, experience of pain and pleasure is more or less neurological. The experience of pain and the pleasure is primarily processed within our central nervous system, particularly the brain. You have to be very clear. The science is not clear about the brain and the mind. That mechanical brain processing information, that is what is known as the mind. So they are confused. The experience of the pain and pleasure is processed within the central nervous system, obviously, which you say the brain. So what happens? The sensory input of the body is transmitted to the brain where it is given an interpretation. That what is emotional relevance? Emotional relevance of pain and the pleasure. Sensation is the same. My mind says this is the pain and this is the pleasure. Brain processes the same information in terms of the sensation. Now see, whether it is a brain or mind, you have also to understand if the mind is impulsive, it is also processed by the brain. So there, modern science says, no, this is not the brain, this is the mind, because it is impulsive. They cannot say brain is impulsive. Why? Brain is a gray matter. A lot of confusion is there. So it's better to understand in order to live our life with reference to pain, pleasure, profit, loss, duality, and conflict. What we say now, see that. Compare it. We say, who is the experiencer? Do you experience pain? Very good. Do you experience the pleasure? Very good. Who is the experiencer? Who is the knower? I am the knower. Very good. So let me put into anesthesia. Now, who is the experiencer? Now I don't experience the pain. Who is the knower? So it means that knower is independent of the mind. That experience is Now I don't experience pain and pleasure. So it means all experiences takes place in the mind. So the mind has created a false idea that I'm the experiencer. I'm the feeler. Oh, so that experiencer is different from the mind. Yes, it is. Oh, so the mind mixes and creates a superimposition. Superimposition. We give a very light definition of pain and the pleasure. Very light definition. Pleasure is positive, pain is negative. You see that? We are caught in that superimposition also. Otherwise, there is no pain in the pleasure in the real self. You can use different words also. Science says that, the pain is a protective mechanism. So then pleasure is addictive mechanism? No, I'm not challenging the science, but we have to follow the Eastern wisdom to reach there. Once you reach there, then you give whether it is right or wrong. As far as the science works in the relative field, they are right. We have to say it is a protective mechanism, it is a complex experience, pleasure is positive. Really? So if the pain is a protective mechanism, then pleasure is an addictive mechanism? Now I'm using from my side. We have to question it with myself. Why I'm saying so? In a couple of the sessions, in the following sessions, I will tell you how to get rid of the pain simply by rediscovering your real self or minimize the pain. Minimize the pain. We will understand that part because that we say this pain, pleasure, profit, loss, victory, defeat, all these experiences are great superimpositions in our life. We will find the the neurological roots. We will try to compare. Psychological roots is just a conditioning, an emotional state. Huh? But when we come to Eastern wisdom, we say you have to discover with reference to attachment and aversion. Am I attached? I'm too much attached to the body. A small pain is experienced very big. And I'm least attached to the body. Even the big pain is taken as very small. That is our daily experience. So that attachment and aversion comes from the ignorance. Ignorance causes the superimposition. And the superimposition has two parts. One is the ignorance and other is the false projection. And it happens every day in our life. I have to get rid of that. I have to become aware. I have to start thinking and finding. My mind says I have an acute headache. My mind says, mind, let me examine it. Let me examine it. Can the consciousness experiences the pain? Can the consciousness experience the pleasure? No. So can I become aware of that consciousness? First, see, let me locate where the consciousness instead of locating the brain. Consciousness is always independent. So what happens when I say I have a pain and pleasure? The wailing of the pure consciousness starts. Are you getting it? Wailing, wailing, hiding of the pure consciousness begins the moment the mind superimposes, forces. No, here is the pain. Do you experience the consciousness in the pain also? Yes, because I'm conscious of pain, but I forget the consciousness is independent and I rely more on the pain and the pleasure. There the problem begins in our daily life. Are you getting it? You have to, lack of thinking should not be there. That is why our master says, listening, learning, constant contemplation and reflection. So what happens? Your value in the mind is set differently than mechanical or habitual set of thinking. That's why I extract that wisdom even from the Disneyland. I went deeper. I said, no, I have to understand what is his story. I'm just giving you one example. My honey is not listening to me. He or she doesn't love me. I have to go deeper to find out, to reach to a state where there is no pain and pleasure, where there is no infatuation, where there is no attachment and detachment. Then you find yourself free. Then ask your mind, what about this experiences versus the other experiences of pain and pleasure? That we have to do. That is required. And that is what happens in the projection also. Projection of the subjective experience. Consciousness, pure experience, projection of subjective experience of pain and pleasure. How simple it is. How simple. If you start working on it, I feel the sensation of touch with my chair. I feel the sensation of you all. That gives me an experience that I'm sitting here, you are sitting there. But how the mind is able to perceive that I'm sitting here, you are there. Come on, my body is sitting there, your body is sitting there, but consciousness is one. Consciousness has to be one. It cannot be two. Your consciousness or my consciousness, it is the crazy mind. It has created a projection, and that projection tells me that you are sitting there and I'm here. I have a pain, I have a pleasure. That is what the superimposition is. Two part. I don't know the real self. That is what. So during the day, you have a pain and pleasure. So ask yourself, I don't know my real self. That is why it is happening. Mine? Let me check. Let me understand. Let me sit down. Internally. You're sitting internally. It is not that, you're driving the car, you stop the car on the high. Internally. It's an internal mechanism. You are asking the mind, you are doing something wrong. We forget to say this, and then the problem comes. Then I compare with you that my ability and your ability. So whether it is low or high, whether you have more money or less money, the comparison starts and everything. Mind creates multiple superimpositions in our life. Multiple superimpositions, one superimposition over the second, over the third, over the fourth, over the fifth. And depending on these superimpositions, where we do not think, lack of thinking causes lot of challenges in our life. Ultimately, what the Buddha says, the world outside is suffering, or the Eastern wisdom says the same thing. It is extremely challenging to make the mind believe that all the pain and pleasure are superimposition in our daily life. And once you prove, I am simply saying you prove it. This master is not giving any mantra or meditation. It doesn't give anything. It says, understand this. Very understanding with reference to the triangle, with reference to the real self. I'm comparing. The very process of the mind you have understood. Understood means recognition. What is the meaning of recognition? Cognitive ability. You see, recognition. So you have the cognitive ability. That cognitive ability leads you to the choiceless awareness. That is what this master is saying. According to my little understanding, I'm a very simple seeker in this journey of Eastern wisdom. I told you that I've hardly read 100 or 150 or 200 books, not everything. Make it again simple, but it may appear complex. Two-way relationship between the knowledge and existence. If something is known, now I'm going directly to the verse Master says. This is what he explains. If something is known to me, it must exist. And if something exists, it should be knowable. Why is said so? The love that disappears is not the real love. What is the conclusion? True existence and knowledge are inseparable. My mind says, I love you, but I don't see the attachment in it. That attachment causes the delusion. So after some time, that love disappears. It's not the real love. You see, you play with this knowledge through the same mind, and then you see what happens. You are full of the joy. In spite of challenges. Who does not have challenges in the world? What is the nature of this superimposition? When we deny existence because of lack of knowledge, I deny that I'm the real self. Oh, you are saying it, beard guy is saying it, let me accept it. No, your mind should be alert and attentive to discover with the teacher here and now, and then after that, through the contemplation and reflection. Oh, let me accept, I don't want to insert this guy, so that's why, let me accept. No, I have to inquire. So when the mind denies the existence that I'm the real self, when we do not know something, when I don't know something, it does not exist. So that doubt is created in the mind. That is what the ignorance is. I don't see God, therefore it does not exist. Did I inquire? No. I just shifted. I escaped from one superimposition to another. What? I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. Did you inquire? What is religion and what is spiritual? This master doesn't leave us. It says, be naked completely to see a real world. So that is why we say faith and understanding. Belief. I don't know whether the sum of angles of a triangle is 180 degree, but you said so, so there is it. So let me prove it. Same thing, I'm the real self. Same thing, prove it. Master is not talking about anything that is so-called religious or mantra or meditation. He says even your understanding will take you to the meditative state. What is the current state? Another part. I'm just playing with this superimposition in variety of ways. So you have to discover your own ways. What is the current state? Current state that I feel and I know and I experience myself as a limited being. Terry might be thinking, that's why I'm not able to go out. I didn't go out in the last week. Then what? But your mind refers to the problem. My mind refers that there is no need to go out. I'm a limited being. Our true nature is infinite consciousness. I have to start from there. Obstacle prevents full recognition. Exam, just like a father unable to hear sons chanting in the group. Do you recall it? What is needed? Systematic understanding required, building knowledge brick by brick. No jumping over the concepts. Clear understanding is required. You know what we say in American phrase? It's a bomb. You know, we say bombshell. So now you see what the master wants to convey the masses. Our inability to recognize and realize our real self is not due to its absence. It is not due to its absence. It is due to superimposition. Remember this. So I have an anxiety, duality, conflict, pain, pleasure, and I'm suffering. It is due to mind does not follow this path. Mind says, I'm suffering. Then it keeps running outside in the world. Then it becomes busy. Then there is a busy trap. Again, you see superimpositions. There are. If you are doing the worldly activities, can you tell me on a single day when you are not busy? The world is constantly changing. We have to be. So mind completely ignores finding the real self. Who I am busy, busy trap. This is what the master is saying by giving an example of 50 people are chanting together and the sun chanting is obscured, is hidden by other students chanting, other worldly activities, busy trap. Because my mind is paying more attention there. And I think I will find my real self? No, you cannot. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. You are aware of. Close your eyes. You're aware. Yes. You're aware. That what is aware? I am aware, it means I'm consciousness. And then go with it. Go with I'm conscious of the body. Awareness of the body. Now use the same word and go deeper. Just use the same. They all are passive steps. It demands a recognition. Place. I'm aware of a place, and that place is limited by my mind as my room. The way I'm limited by experiencing I'm sitting here. It demands a thinking, a conscious thinking with reference to. So, what will happen? I know that your mind may not believe it will bring such a tremendous transformation in our life. What experience you get by 2 hours of the breathing and mantra chanting, you can get it in few minutes. But condition is there, I told you. Place, position, position. Does the consciousness has any position? You're working, you're asking the mind. And you will feel you have a smile within you. Consciousness, no. It has no position. Place, no. Why no place? It is all pervading. As far as the mind can go, there is an awareness first, and then mind recognizes. So the consciousness is first, then I am aware of the object. Gold is first. Again, I'm giving some example. Gold is first, then I have the earring or nose pin or necklace or bracelet. It seems to be mind will not easily settle into that experience. We have to consistently and constantly contemplate and reflect to get rid of this ignorance, superimposition, projection. Simple. Pick up this, being comfortable. So being comfortable, I told you I've been giving you. So use that example for understanding. So your understanding goes with being comfortable. Looking at the neck joint, you're aware of the neck joint. You experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Now you want to discover sensation, comfort, and steadiness with reference to the body. Sensation with reference to the body because of the body and the sense organ, and they are limited. Okay. And what about the steadiness? We are talking the steadiness of the body. What is the reference point is the real self. When the real self is only one, it is all pervading. It is only the consciousness that is real. So where comes the idea of his steadiness? Anything that moves is changing. Anything that is changing will undergo many permutation and combination, will be ready for projection and delusion and superimposition. Just think. Oh, is this? So now ask which one is true. I tried myself having a very high temperature, and I said, let us explore this. Who has the temperature? Uh, and I understood, oh, it is not me. I don't have the temperature. But at a higher level, you will recognize you can bring your temperature down. I'm not talking of miracle. So now going to the comfort. Comfort is a conscious experience, yes or no? Recognize it. Now I have to recognize the location of the comfort. Where there is a consciousness, there is a comfort or there is no comfort. There comes reflection. Let us go a little deeper. Is comfort the nature of the consciousness or the perception and reflection of the mind? Comfort is always there in the consciousness. That is reflected through the mind, goes to the body, and I feel the comfortable. That subtle level of processing, again I'm saying triangle, real self, process. First process the way I'm processing for you, and then you the more and more you do it, you will find out it is so easy. What is difficult, if you follow it again and again, it becomes easy. I'm helping your mind, it should not go anywhere. That is what the master is saying. The sun's chanting obscured by other students chanting, other experiences which the mind has inherited because of its impulsive, habitual, addictive nature. That is why it recognizes pain, pleasure, profit, loss, etc., etc., etc. But what to do? We deviate from there. What we ask, you may have a question, what to do with the pain? Let us not deviate. We will take care of the pain. Pain is pain in the body, but the suffering has come to an end. From one ignorance, one superimposition to another, to the third, and to the fourth, and to the hundred, and to millions of superimpositions are there of which we are not aware. That is why this master clearly says, are you aware? In one sitting, you are contemplating, your mind will take to one direction. In the second sitting, the mind will take you to another direction. There are millions, innumerable, infinite incidents and events created by the mind causes the delusion or a Disneyland. So the master says this ignorance is beginningless. That is the next topic of this journey. We will talk about it. what is this? Millions and trillions of superimpositions. They appear in individual life separately, differently. I have faith in the Jesus. You say, I have faith in the Buddha. Without inquiry, that is superimposition. What is behind them? Now, see another point that I'll be discussing in the future. The consciousness is one, all pervading. Yes. Same reference, triangle. Instead of triangle, I'm talking of the real self is one, pure consciousness, eternal. Eternal means unchanging. Okay, unchanging. Yes, yes, unchanging. Now see the other part of mindfulness. What we say in mindfulness, very popular phrase, pay attention to the breath. Breath is changing. Breath is changing. You see that number one, breath changing. You are aware. Number two, breath changing. You are aware. Number three, breath changing. Number four, breath changing. Changing means the moving breath. You are simply aware of the breath. You're not focused. You're not making an effort of the breath. What exactly we are doing here? The master says, we are asking the mind, can you have a nature of the consciousness that is unchanging? And that is how the mind is caught. Mind is caught in its own superimposition. Oh, let me see, let me see. Let me keep watching the breath is going in, going out. It is one breath, but still it is the different breath going in and out. That way, the mind seems to recognize that there is only one consciousness that is unchanging. And the moment the mind recognizes it is unchanging, it seems to stop. What does it mean by seems to stop? It stops playing with all kinds of reflections in the world. It is an emptiness. It is just a blankness. It is nothingness. Why it is nothingness? Mind is not there. Mind has merged into pure consciousness. So do I have an experience? Yes, I have an experience of that. No, but still the mind has a lot of, oh yeah, thoughts, feeling, emotions. They are there, but they are too far. Now you have a clarity that I'm not the body. Mind, breath, intellect, no thought. And then we enter into, you know, even to say that enter into that state seems very, mm, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness, your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences and bring the hands down. We'll share our experience. If you have any question, you can ask. How are you, Dennis?
It is interesting that the pain does not necessarily have to lead to suffering. That the pain is actually twofold. One is a signal from the body or the mind, that just a signal without any label of being pain or pleasure, and then it gets interpreted by the mind as the pain. And then I think what happens is that consciousness gets entangled with this interpretation and it becomes the pain. So that at that moment there has to be something that separates the consciousness and the mind to keep the pain within the mind.
Yes.
And not let it be entangled with the consciousness. So then I stay the consciousness, and the pain stays within the body and the mind. Easy to say. Theoretically, yes, I think I understand it, but yes, but a lot of practice is
A lot
required.
of contemplation and reflection is required. I am the body. It is in the background. You don't say it. Just take an example. I'm the body. It is already in the background. Why? Because I feel the sensation and all the emotions, past impressions are waiting. Now I have a fever. Brandy, you had a fever? No. Okay. So I'm not just giving examples. So I now have a fever. So one superimposition that I'm the body. Second is that I have a fever. Third is that I have to do something, another superimposition that I'm the doer, that I'm the enjoyer. Then I have to listen. No, I will not be able to pay the attention. One superimposition over the second, over the third, over the fourth, and the mind continues to supply these superimposition. Why? Why? I'm living unconsciously. I'm living in ignorance. That is what the Buddha says. That is what this master clearly, logically proves. This is what the Dennis is saying. Pain. It is not necessarily a pain. A sensation may not necessarily be a pain. It's a signal. We are not able to separate this. Why? Ignorance. What is that ignorance? I don't know real self, hence it does not exist. What exists? I'm the body. Yes, you are right. Lot of contemplation and reflection is required. I don't have time 24/7 since you wake up until you sleep. Your life is a practice. You need not to find, but yes, if you find one, at least an hour listening and contemplating, that is good. But after that, the whole life is a journey. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good, sir. Thank you. It was a very interesting lesson. A lot of contemplation and reflection going on. When you talked about Disneyland, I was like, that's probably the furthest place from the real self that you could be.
Yeah.
And then I asked myself why. And what comes up with is that Walt Disney basically plays with your emotions. And within 10 feet of the entrance of Disneyland, you could experience every possible emotion as defined. And it just goes to show how powerful the mind is and the importance of controlling the mind. And what it led that the Disneyland conversation, what led me to think was is that we talk about listening and learning and contemplation, reflection, and so on. But there's an operative word that you have been saying every time you say that didn't resonate with me as much as it did today. And that is the word constant. And you have to constantly listen and learn and contemplate, reflect, and discernment, dispassion, and practice. It's the bottom line of the whole thing. And because of that, the last thing on the Disneyland was, Disneyland is the happiest place on earth. And I was like, no, it's not. The happiest place on earth is right here. And when I closed my eyes, I went to the happiest place. So it was great. So thank you.
Beautiful. Your explanation of Disneyland with reference to the superimposition is much better than what I started explaining. That the moment you are 10 feet away and you see all those kind of superimpositions, and I believe that Disneyland gives me the pleasure and happiness. What is that Disneyland? My honey will give me peace. My money will give me. I'm very busy so that I will be happy in the future. You know, I will get married, I'll be happy. I will divorce, I'll be happy. You see, there's no end to this Disneyland, which is always with us. There you have to pay a lot of money for tickets, and you're not allowed to stay for hardly, couple of hours, isn't it? Yeah, couple of hours. But this Disneyland is oh my mic is working fine, then I'm in a Disneyland. My mind is not working fine, that too is a Disneyland. Did you understand that point? Pain, pleasure, comfort, discomfort. Consciousness is independent. So there comes again, I'll go to Dennis. It demands lot of contemplation and reflection. I don't have time. No, you have time. Because when you say you don't have time, that is also another Disneyland. Are you not aware? Are you not listening? That is Disneyland. Do you see the significance and the import of this journey? Beautiful. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. The lesson for me was a realization of what the journey of Eastern wisdom is all about. And it's really about putting all of these things, our mind, our pain, our pleasure, into an organizational structure, into a hierarchy, so that we can live life with peace and happiness. And if you compare it to the business world, successful businesses have a proper hierarchy and structure in order to, process things. And I think that if I look at it that way, it was very relieving that all we're doing is creating this organizational structure that for most people is broken. And it goes and puts this hierarchy in place. So that was fascinating to me. So thank you.
Yeah. Instead of saying 6 neighbors, you put them in here, a hierarchy. The world is the lowest place where the foundation is. Then comes the body. Then comes the energy. Don't say neighbors. Then comes the mind. Then comes the intellect and I thought. That comes the ignorance. And after that, on the top, there is the real self. Yeah, Yeah. Yes, yes, that too is a good way to reflect. And the more we reflect, we recognize there as such, there is no suffering in the world. I am of the nature of peace and happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. How are you, Jay?
So understanding was the big word for me, and just working on the mind to make sure that it does understand all the
Yeah.
time, because the signals, so whether they're emotional signals or physical signals, are good messages for taking care of our instruments, our
Yeah.
body, our mind. And then we just have to, if we're getting caught up in whatever that emotion is or that physical pain is, then that's when we have to go back and ask the mind and make sure and have it prove where it really is, which is in the consciousness. And then these are just passing events that we're experiencing, but that's not what we are.
Yes. Yes, you touched upon which I should have touched, but you clearly said, say, normally I have a pain in the heart. So it has twofold purpose. One, it's a signal to take care of the heart as the instrument, and other is to transcend that I'm not the heart. So both will work. Both will work. I believe you all are getting it. I missed that point. Double purpose. The moment you have a pain or a pleasure, or you see it, the happiest place is the Disneyland. Yes. So you recognize all the superimpositions outside and the happiness within. That is how, I'm just giving you some ideas that how these awakened masters used to live in the same world in which we are living. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. I had obviously had physical issues with the body. I had a nice opportunity to apply the lesson today during the meditation, and I was able to move beyond the experience of the body and hopefully even offer a little healing. Thank you.
Good. Yes. Even you are not, your voice is heavy, but you can apply. You can apply. So the body has its own limitations. The body, your throat will be all right after a few days or a few hours, but I can apply in any situation. That needs to be understood clearly. That is the great message this master gives. No doubt, it took me almost 10 years, but you guys are wiser, so I have no issues. How are you, Terry? Beautiful, yes.
Well, there's constant opportunities to endure and transcend
Yes.
and experience um, that phenomenon of the sensation dropping its attachment to a definition of its pain or pleasure. It's just a sensation.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes. So no pleasure, no pain. I just gave an example that I will, I think that topic I will talk in detail on Monday. You go to the doctor, they investigate you, they write all the stuff, all the challenges. They say it is a medical report about your health and well-being. Am I right? Do they say
Yeah.
it is, do they say it is a medical complaint about your body? They say it is a medical report. They say it is a medical report. They don't say it is a medical complaint. what we do. Oh, this is a report. I have a pain and pleasure. But we start complaining. This is what I'm saying. Oh, I have a fever, so I start complaining. A couple of times, I had an extreme fever, but you did not recognize. And I said, oh, very good. Thank you. You have given me an opportunity to give a lesson. Let me see whether I can do it or not. And it is 100% possible. That is all for today. Thank you. Namaste. I'll meet again.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.